and become better. But there's one key component to this, which is what's in the center, which is our fan base. That is critical to our business in terms of where we're going in the future. So our vision really was what was going to be the next big thing in market research for NASCAR. I've been doing this for about 10 years. In about 2008, we talked about doing our own panel for a number of years, trying to figure out the right way to do it, the right partner, big, small, how do we do it? We ended up getting it off the ground with Vision Critical, and it fit in a time period in NASCAR that many of you may have heard of in terms of back to basics. They were really finding the brand, really getting back to what it used to be in terms of the racing and the storylines and everything that was going on out there. For us, it was, in a market research group, we've got lots of tools in our toolbox, but we weren't able to navigate as quickly as we needed to because the sport was changing quite a little bit quicker. The sport's become a little bit more nimble. We're able to meet our customers' needs better than we have before, but we needed a tool. We needed a tool to do that. So we created a very simple, impactful asset, and it was born in 2008. It's a panel. It's our own proprietary research panel. The beauty of it is we call it the NASCAR Fan Council. So while internally it is a research tool in the toolbox, it's also being used externally to help tell people what NASCAR is doing in terms of engaging with its fan base and using it as what I call often as a listening agent. So many of you are doing this in the marketplace. We're also watching social media and other types of forms of media, but it was a simple asset to enable us to listen better. It is 12,000 avid NASCAR fans, which in your case would be your best customers that are part of this panel. Now, the beauty of it too is we never really wanted to turn anyone away, but we kind of capped it out. So we also have a wait list. We've created somewhat of a demand in this, becoming part of this exclusive club to be able to communicate with the league, but also creating a wait list to become a member of the Fan Council. Really in our sport, the Fan Council from a research standpoint, if you think about the research group managing all of those tools, this particular product is really similar to a pit stop. So you've got a research team and one person that is fully dedicated to managing this panel 24/7. We are living, using, and touching this product every single day, and even on the weekends when our events are taking place. But it's all about getting the feedback, accuracy, precision, working together as a team to reach a common goal, which in this place is to get what our fans are feeling and behaving and feeling about our sport to our stakeholders quicker than we ever have before with the tools that we've had in the past. So why does it work for us? It's been really successful because it is a lifestyle sport. So there are no incentives involved. They do not receive financial incentive. They do not receive marketing or promotions. This is something that's engaging, that the fans feel like they have a stake in the game now. They have a voice. In a way, this tool has kind of created this department internally as the voice of the fan. Because of many of these things that you see up here, they enjoy giving their feedback and specifically knowing that they're talking directly to the league. So this is a quick screenshot of the login portal where fans can go in at any time, can leave comments to us about how they feel about the racing action or anything going on in the sport. Most of the interactions are invited surveys that we do from time to time, and I'll take you through some frequency ideas of how quickly we communicate and talk to them. So if you think about it, most of these people are getting touched at minimum twice to 3 times a month on a variety of different topics. 12,000 members is a very large panel, but it enables us to do multiple things at one time, reaching different demographic groups, different segmentations, being able to be in the marketplace to do multiple projects at once. But it's not just about capturing data. There are communities where fans live and talk about the sport, but it's also utilized to continue that communication to let the fan base know that we care, we want your input, we value your feedback. So they also get newsletters. They get to see the results. They also get to see when we make changes to our actual product, and they were asked questions about that they feel like they played a participatory part in the changes that are going on in the sport because they have a stake in it as quick stats. On the left side, where do you think this information's going? And this is a little older data, but in the beginning, only a third said NASCAR League. Most thinks it's a research company. Most think it's a marketing agency. But we want people to know, and we are working hard to make sure that these folks know, people on and off, or off the panel, that this information goes directly to NASCAR, the league, people working there. The example up top's funny. It's a guy says, we read, a lot of verbatim responses, and he says, hey, how do I know you read these things? Why should I put my time into this? Here's my phone number. So the person that manages the panel comes into my office and says, look at this, it's kind of funny. So I don't think it's funny. Pick up the phone, call the guy. We picked up the phone and called this guy Jim, and we say, hey, thanks for being a fan. The best thing you can do is when we communicate with you, tell us how you feel. The bottom right, have you ever told anyone you've been part of the council? People brag about it. They brag about it to their friends, their fellow fans, that they are actually part of this exclusive club and take this very seriously. And then also, how often are you invited to participate? You can see 43% there say, not often enough. Nobody has said too often, which that tells me these people have a lot to say, and they're looking for a place to say it, and they're getting that in social media. This particular small group is getting it through this format. Here's somebody up top that says, they don't get a study every week. After every race, we grade our races. Every weekend, we ask a subset of the panel, how was our product? This particular person didn't get a questionnaire that weekend, and they had a lot to say. I said, hey, why didn't I get invited? I've got stuff to say. But we touch them frequently, and right now we're still not touching them frequently enough. So how are we doing? I tell you that this is a quick kind of net promoter score value on NASCAR genuinely cares about its fans. Among our avid fan base, you can see since 2008 how this score has risen since 2008 in terms of NASCAR genuinely caring about its fans. We're going through a transition in our sport, just like every company or brand does. But it's very important to see when we put these assets and things in place that you're seeing that people are giving comments, the sport is making changes, which in turn is telling consumers that we are listening to what the fans have to say. How does it fit internally into the toolbox? Believe it or not, it's a very small piece of the toolbox. It's simple, it's fun, it's just a great tool for a research group to have fun and engage with. It's really the foundation. What it's done is it's created so many people internally, it's just changed company culture. People, departments that would never come to research now and say, hey, can you ask the NASCAR Fan Council this, or can we use the Fan Council for that? The beauty of that is, whether the Fan Council is the right place or the wrong place, you have now created collaboration and excitement about people wanting to get insights for what particular project they might be working on, so we can get them into the right tool, the right methodology, whatever it might be. But it's really opened up the doors to collaboration. We're a small, privately run company. So you can't just think about just research. Often you have to think broader. We have these tools, this technology. How can we utilize it outside of the fan base? So we're utilizing this technology for lots of different things. We've been deploying internal types of surveys, industry things, utilizing this technology to collaborate and reach and gather information from many different data points. We've actually even used it for RSVPing for events. It's a database type thing, and it's so interactive to be able to ask people questions, visual type things that make it easy for people. So, the type of company that we work for, we also have to think outside of what our role is and really help a lot of different people. So there are things that you can do utilizing the technology and thinking broader. My final conclusions would be, before I turn it over to Jennifer, is there's just something different about the Fan Council. I probably can count on two hands the number of times I call it a panel in a year. It is the Fan Council. And I think that's the beauty of it, and that's why people get it. For me as a researcher, I'm using it as a research tool. To everybody else, it's the Fan Council. The fans have a place to go and have a say in what's going on. It's opened up doors to obtain feedback throughout the organization, and it really has shown collaboration. So why would I put this goofy picture up here of me with these, I don't know, these horns or some type of device? A colleague of mine sent this to me on email. one day. And I think it's funny, and it really struck me as, you know what, this guy took the time to create this funny picture of me to send as a joke, but what it really tells me is people internally kind of get the extreme levels we've gone to try to gather this feedback and to listen to what our fans have had to say. So it's been very successful, a very simple asset that we have taken, and it really has changed the way our company has done business, not only from departments, but all the way up from our CEO and our president, actually talking about the fan council on live network broadcast television and how important that is to the future of our sport. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jennifer, and she'll take you through how they utilize the tool in terms of her company with Roxy.